Hey, shalom, shalom. So the real Hebrew Israelites come to you weekend. We got prophesying the return of the Messiah, the seventh son. All praises and honor glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles out in New York, Great Millstone, GMS. Honors to all I can around the planet, lifting up the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and truth and sincerity. With no further, ado, we're just going to jump straight into it with the brothers here from Great Millstone, Chicago, um, and Brother Ryan, Brother Debaria, and just want to go into share this screen real quick. Um, a video. This is a response called "Ephraim shall not envy Judah, Judah shall not vex Ephraim." It is a response video to it's actually a response video to a response video. All right, the brothers in LA, and if I could just go find the link real quick, I would have put it up there. But I did. I just said Spirit just jump in because I'm already going to do what we did here in Chicago. And the Spirit jumped to me to ask one of our brothers, Brother Yasharala, one of the producers of the camp, to put a little montage together. And it's a beautiful thing because it's a beautiful thing to see prophecy come to pass in your face, especially when you can recognize it. All right, because most people can't see shit. And Shalom to Akim Akwat joining the comment board. All right. So for no further ado, I'm going to play this video. It's only 2 minutes or so, about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna let this play, and then we're just gonna go have a little, not too long chat about it. Isaiah 11:13.
It says Isaiah 11:13. Right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 13.
Es el libro de Isaías, capítulo 11, y versículo 13.
It's Isaiah 11:13.
Es el libro de Isaías 11 y verso 3.
Isaiah 11:13.
Isaías 11:13.
The envy also of Ephraim shall depart.
Y se disparará la envidia de Ephraim.
And the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Y los enemigos de Judá serán destruidos.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah.
Ephraim no tendrá envidia de Judá.
And Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
Ni Judá atigará a Ephraim.
Shalom, shalom. Running out to the branch and bring to the nation God. And I'm going to read Isaiah 11 and 13. And it reads, the envy of Ephraim shall depart, the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. It's a beautiful thing because I actually got to see that happen on a great scale here in Chicago. And I remember how, talking to Brother Zaki, Zaki in the camp, before we went down to this sickness, and how we would sit up and just be so heartbroken, and how the kingdom was kind of shunning, the truth, and how we were waiting. And now the Lord started bringing them in, and now you see us in Chicago fitting each other like a glove. Like you said in that movie, the gangs in New York, we close up like a fist now.
This is the book of Isaiah 11:13.
This is el libro de Isaías 11:13. Isaiah 11:13.
Isaiah 11:13.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 13.
And this is Isaiah 11 chapter 13 verse.
This is Isaiah 11:13.
This is Isaiah 11:13.
This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 13.
The envy also of Ephraim shall depart,
And the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah,
And Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
That's mighty, mighty, man. And, kudos to Brother Yasharala, who produced that mini documentary. And we're going to go get the scripture. Give me Isaiah 11 and Don't play with me. I don't want none of this. I just said nothing of the sort. Nothing of the kind. All right, go. Your kind. Matter of fact, you can might move up a little bit. Matter of fact,
Isaiah 11 and 13. Says he said,
I'm going to just let it play in the background, just to see this is prophecies coming up. Go ahead, brother. Let's see.
11 and 13.
Um, verse 11.
Isaiah 11 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from islands of the sea.
So Mosiah said it's going to come to pass in that day. He's talking what day he's talking about. He's talking about the last days we're living in right now. They have all these injectable devices, digital alls planned for us. They have these injectable fluids, venom. All right. So and then the food is the shortage is looming, famines, droughts, earthquakes, volcanoes, all the signs the Lord said he will be signs of him revisiting the world that he made. All right. Give me that real quick. Give me a second, Edris. You got something real quick? Give me a second, Edris. What is it? The seventh? I think it's the 8th or 9th chapter. Salaki. But it said when he's going to visit the Apocrypha King James Version.
According to Britannica,
I think it might be chapter 7. He's going to visit the earth. They
Yeah.
should know that this is the time.
I know it's one of the first ones. I have, matter of fact, I got it right here. Sometimes you just got to go to the book. All right. Verse 9, chapter 9, I believe. Yep. Yep, chapter 9. I got it, brother. But you want to read it? You get it.
9, I'm going to start at 1.
Okay.
2nd Esdras 9 and 1, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
So we're supposed to be paying attention to the times. This right here that you see on the screen is an example of knowing what time we're in biblical prophecy right here, because we're proving prophecy within the scripture is proven the kingdom of Israel being restored in the face. This is the embodiment of this and Ezekiel, the 13th chapter, I believe. The 27th. Shit, I know where it is. I get it. The 37th chapter to my knowledge. But go ahead.
It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
So he said, when you start seeing these things, certain things coming around, all right? These volcanoes, these earthquakes, the tsunamis, and the military conflicts. Syria just attacked Idlib again, all right? China and getting in more coups with Russia. The financial stock market being propped up and about to collapse. The debt ceiling not being solved. The government shutdown looming. The list of what's going on in the world today is ridiculous. Go ahead.
It says, verse 2 or verse 3 says, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
That's right. The Lord said, I've been told you about this from the beginning, since the beginning of time. All right. So keep going.
Verse 4. Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs.
So all these, he said, measure the time diligently. Look at these signs. Look at these things going on. This is what's happening. All right. One of the signs is us. And that's in Ezekiel the 12th chapter. Let me get that real quick.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, son?
I got a quick precept real quick. This is Jeremiah. Wait. This is Jeremiah 16 and 14. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
That's it. And the Most High said that the lands of the north, this is North America, and we're going to be brought from all the four corners of the earth, according to the scriptures, and we're going to be brought back into the good graces of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Harakat Kadash. All right, and that's what we're waiting for. All right, and back to the topic, Ephraim shall not envy Judah, Judah should not vex Ephraim. Salakia. See,
I'm still holding that too.
What you got?
That Isaiah, I'm holding that still.
Oh yeah, because we do need to go back there too. Shoot, now just go ahead and get that right.
Okay.
Scripture. Okay, now Salakia, I got it. This is Ezekiel 12, and I'll just go straight to the point. Verse 10, say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord God, this burden concerneth the prince in Jerusalem and all the house of Israel that are among them. Say, I am your sign. Like as I have done, so shall it be done unto them. They shall remove and go into captivity. All right. The Lord says, if you go into this, go up, you'll see them. This is what we do when we basically go out into the highways and byways. We're the signs for Yahweh Bashem Yashai, the signs to people. This right here, these prophecies let you know we're in end times and the Lord's about to come back. That's why you listen to the men of the Lord. Listen to it. Look, watch, and see the Lord bring us back together. It's right into the face, man. Go ahead. Go back to it, Isaiah. Because I'm going to go to Ezekiel, but I want to do that after Isaiah, and then we can wrap it up.
Isaiah 11 and 2. It says, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah.
Dispersed to Judah, yeah,
from the four corners of the earth.
So wait a minute, Judah was dispersed all over the place. You know, Ephraim and referring to the northern kingdom, they were dispersed. All right, and we can prove that in scriptures, and we can prove that in geology. Okay, go ahead.
It says, verse 13, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
So the Lord says, in this returning to the king of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is his evidence you see here on the screen, the Lord is going to vanquish all our who? All of our adversaries?
All of our adversaries, yep.
All right. This is what we got to look for. All right. This is what we're waiting for through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And he said he got us from all over, right? Going back up to verse 11. From Assyria, modern day America,
yep. Egypt,
Pathros, Cush, Elam, Shinar. There's Israelites all over the place. So guess what? The Most High is going to come get it. Whether there's going to be some Chinese-looking Israelites, it's going to be some Japanese-looking Israelites, it's going to be some Jewish-looking Israelites. All right, it's going to be some pygmy-looking Israelites. All right, you're going to have some Amazonian-looking Israelites. Yeah. All right, you're going to have it going all over the place. And this is an example. All right, but they're all great men of the Lord over here who's out there teaching, and then all the righteous who are waking up are great people of the Lord too. All right, so that was in Isaiah. Go ahead.
It says, but they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them.
So we're going to subdue the nations. All right. And the Lord's going to give us power. Go ahead.
Because that's how the Lord is going to rescue us. He's going to do it by taking down our enemies. That's why in verse 13 it says that and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. You know, because the enemy of Judah is the enemy of Israel. You know, of the northern tribes or whatnot. You know, because ultimately that's the enemy of the Lord, man. Edom, the top enemy, all right? The so-called Caucasian man, which is the self-proclaimed white man today. You know, Moab plays a big part. You know, these are all the enemies of the nation of Israel that the Lord, in taking them down and setting us up, that's the rescue.
That's it.
You know,
He said, with was it Jeremiah? With thee, I will break in pieces the kingdom. He said, with thee, the Lord said He's going to use us to be His battle axe and weapons of war.
huh.
All right, and so the Most High said we're supposed to be His tools. So will not the Most High bring his sons back together as He prophesied? Shalom. Will not the Most High bring us back together for we can do the will of the Lord? All right, goes in there.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so go to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter,
Okay.
and we're gonna wrap it up and read out a little bit.
Ezekiel 37 and 19. It says, say unto them, thus saith Yahweh power, behold.
No, start with verse. Where you're Ezekiel 37.
Yeah.
Start at the top.
Okay, come. Ezekiel 37 and 1, it says, the hand of Yahweh was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these live? And I answered, O Lord power, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and I will bring up flesh upon you, cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai.
So now, that's one of my favorite parables and prophecies and visions the Lord has given us, and that's indicative of what you see here on the screen. All right, we before coming into this truth, we were a valley of dry bones. Proverbs 21:16 says, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So if you don't have the knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you are walking dead, you're a zombie, and your life is pointless right now because you're contrary to the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Kadash. Okay, so but that was but we were all in that state, like Corinthians says, and such were some of you.
Right.
And he just listed murderers, or drunkards and abusers and all kind of shit.
Yeah.
So he said thieves and idolaters. The Lord says, such were some of you, but I've cleansed you. I made you clean. Why? Because we repented and came to the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Harakakadash. And then we men of the Lord start doing the work of the Lord. And this is the evidence, going out there in the highways. That's him breathing that breath upon us, putting our skin back on it, putting our heritage back on it, putting our culture back on it, putting our identity back on us, man. All right. And this is why it's so beautiful to me. All right. Because go ahead.
That's a great wonder.
Yes, it is.
That's why they can't see it.
That's it.
It's so wonderful, so mighty. You can't. Well, the rest cannot see it.
That's right. That's right. So go ahead, keep on reading.
It says, verse 7, it says, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. So
all right. So he started all the things that he said he was going to do. He said he did, and then he did breathe into us. Go to verse 10.
Verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
Read verse 9 and 10 again, just to be thorough.
Verse 9 says, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind.
That's what we do right out here, what you see on the screen. All right. We're prophesying right now to the wind. So we don't know where these words are going to go. We don't know where it's going to list. But we know where it's going to list on the ears that the Lord wants it to land. All right. The seeds of Yahweh Shah that grow into righteousness will always land on the righteous ears and always be received. Now how long it's going to take to sprout, that's going to be between how hard-headed we are, because we're all hard-headed to a certain degree. And it takes us a second to get these things. All right.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is John 10:15. It says, as the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep, let me see what. Let me start at 14. John 10:14, it says, I am the good shepherd and know my sheep and am known of mine. So, the ones that receive the breath is because through the Spirit, we already knew Yahweh Shai. We were already, Lord willing, a part of that group, But, speaking, for simplicity, right, we already, predestined to receive that breath, There were bones in that valley, There were no new bones coming in while they were getting raised up and having the flesh put on them and the breath blown on them. There were no other bones just miraculously popping up out of nowhere. Those bones were already set there. They were already there. They were part of that graveyard. The men of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, all right, have been predestined to be those men. That's and it. They know the Lord. They know the voice of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai.
That's it.
It says, verse 15, as the Father knoweth me, even so I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep, and other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, then also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
That's it. And what you see is this my sheep hear my voice, and this one fold being brought together. You had the northern kingdom being taken over to the other side of the and Yahweh Shai said, I'm going to take care of them and I'm going to bring them back. And you had evidence of some northern kingdom being over there from one of the sisters from the tribe of Asher being over there in the time of the New Testament. So you had Judah a little bit over everywhere. We had Ephraim a little bit everywhere. But now, and then we did not know who we were. We had a great falling away. Okay, give me that real quick in Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, second chapter. That there would be a great falling away first. That's that Jeremiah 17:4. Thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For your trying to quote it right. For you kindle a fire in my anger, which will burn forever. All right. So he said, I'm going to take thine heritage that I gave thee. You're going to discontinue it. Stop. That's why we did not know who we are. All right. Go ahead. You got the follow.
2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
Then everything outside of this planet, around this planet, is here to deceive you. Outside of you, how about you outside this truth? Everything else is going to beguile you away from the truth. Go ahead.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
So he said, I can't come back until y'all fell off. Now we don't know our heritage, we don't know our culture. We're getting forced to do things that is about to get us killed. The injectables and so forth. So go ahead.
There was a book that I read by Bartolomé de las Casas, and he said something along the lines: the poor wretched were perfect in nobility, except that they did not know the grace of the Son, JC, showing you that the Northern Kingdom, they did come here trying to keep the laws. They didn't, but they just didn't remember. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know, that they were the children of Israel. All that time they had passed.
They did at one point in time, but then when they got colonized, this is how we got ours beat out of us. They got theirs beat out of them. That goes to Deuteronomy 28. We went through Deuteronomy 28. That what we were talking about before on slave ships. We got pictures of Brazilians going on slave ships. Got pictures of Esau taking a Native American Gad over to Europe. All right,
Mhm.
they wouldn't have moved. All of us been on slave ships, man. But Judah was the lion portion of it, with the majority of all of us. You know what I'm saying? And that was because we were the king and head tribe. And what were we doing? Vexing Ephraim and doing wickedness, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, "For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first,
That's
and
right.
that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition."
And now the Most High is revealing that son of man, son of sin, that son of perdition, that man of sin, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and Babylon the Great, which is America. All right, that whore that sitteth on the beast. All right, and the Lord started to take down this Babylonian system, and He's about to raise up His hopeful elect. But that's if we come out of this madness, man. All right, no, is it not right?
Yeah.
So go back to Ezekiel, and then we can just go jump down to, because all that is showing that after they got they did all that and they came out the graves. Start with verse 14.
Ezekiel 37 and 14. "And shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, saith Yahweh."
That's what we're waiting on. We're waiting for it to be returned and restored to our own land. And out of all the nations, when I asked the question, I said, don't you think it's unfair that everybody, China got China, Russia got Russia, Japan got Japan, and that we don't got our land for ourselves? And you know, they get all instantly cut. Because nobody can say anything different. Otherwise, they're going to admit that they're racist. If you ever want to trap them up, just ask them a question. And then they'll have to be like, you're right. Stupid. Well, go ahead, bro.
Verse 15. "The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
That's it.
Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions."
So that's the stick right that you see in Spanish right behind. All right, that's Northern Kingdom representatives, and the Southern Kingdom representatives of all the 12 tribes, starting off with Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and Ephraim on down. All right, the so-called Native American Indians, the Gadites. All right, the Mexicans, the Israelites, Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans, the Manasseh, the Cubans, all right, Haiti, the Levites. There's all the 12 tribes, and we put it all together, man. And that's those two sticks. That's that the word sticks going to plank, to wood, and that's what you just see out there. All right, go ahead.
Verse 17. "And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?"
Because we're the sign. That's why we're out there on the highways, byways, just like you see here, with the sticks, with the two tribes back together.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know we almost out of here. Go ahead.
Yeah, the sign is what you see. You see so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans standing together, as one.
That's right. That's right.
It says, verse 19, "Say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh power, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand."
And that's what he's doing right here. Go ahead. It's beautiful.
It says, "And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh power, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land."
So who's the only group of people who don't have their own land on the planet by mass, by force, by history? So-called Negroes. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. If you can be under sanction, like Cuba's under sanction, you can be a territory, like Ephraim's a territory.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Excuse me.
Well, they called when they first came to the Aztecs, they called it New Spain. They called it you know what I'm saying? They called it New Spain.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It says uh verse 22, it says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. And I got that precept too if you want.
Go ahead.
Okay. 11 and 29. This is 1 Kings 11 and 29. It says, and it came to pass at that time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem that the prophet Ahiah the Shilonite found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment, and they two were alone in the field. And Ahiah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces. For thus saith Yahweh, power of Israel, behold, I will rent the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. But he shall have one tribe, the he being Solomon, right, the head of Judah, for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, showing the kingship. You know, it says, because they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Shemosh, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments, as did David his father.
That's right. So that's how we got ripped apart and became two. And then between Jeroboam and Rehoboam, the strife, the kingdom split. And ever since then, we have been doing our own thing and had a beef. All right, but the Lord has been breaking that beef over the years, even before the truth spread as it is. We started seeing it back in the different 60s, 70s, 80s, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Different groups getting together, different movies, and you see that they're because you can't even back in the so-called slave movies when you'll see Jake was on the run and he was going through Gad's land. They end up partying and dancing and fellowshipping and being protected. Even Mexico, when they abolished slavery, would refuse to send back escaped slave runaways back to America. America was mad. All right.
Yeah.
So this you can't deny this, man. This lets you know that salvation is not. So let's go back to
Ezekiel
37. We're gonna wrap it. We're gonna finish up.
In 23, it says, neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things.
And we know that Issachar is known for those crucifixes.
Mm-hmm.
They're known for those Guadalupes. Mm-hmm. Jake known for them as well, and all those them candles and all this witchcraft and shit, ox and shit.
Yep.
Go ahead.
They had a God for every occasion, man.
That's right.
That's it. It says, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them, so shall they be my people, and I will be their power. And David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They all shall walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. And I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yeah, I will be their power, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forever.
So this is the promise that the Most High has given us. It's happening right here in front of you. That means we this is right around the corner. We're about to be and we're about to be delivered. Right, we're about to be saved. We're about to be blessed.
And it's
Right.
beautiful because the other nations, they can't fathom that. There's no way that the Lord is going to come and only save the so-called bloodline of Negroes, or should I say the bloodline of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They still think that JC is going to come and save every one of them. They
Right.
still picturing a heaven without the so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, and Native American. Real quick, but like it says, verse 27, Ezekiel 37 and 27, it says, "My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yeah, I will be their power, and they shall be my people, and the heathen shall know
That's it.
that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
That's it.
Do sanctify Israel." They're gonna know.
That's right. And sanctify means to set apart.
Yeah.
All right, to make holy, to consecrate. All right, that means they're gonna know that. So, and well, they know now because it's right here on the screen.
Yep.
We're showing them through the brothers, to the men of the Lord, the elders on down. All right, and we out here that stick that we read in Ezekiel back together. The Judah not vexing Ephraim anymore, back in Isaiah. All right, and all the promises the Lord has said. So this is it. We almost out here, man. We about to go home, man.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. You got something?
Yeah. It's Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
And that's what they say when they see this picture here. When they see this topic here, oh, y'all not the same. It's different. This is not true. This is what we get accused of all the time. All right, but these people right here, we're brothers, man. With the 12 tribes being brought back together in the face. All right, go ahead.
It says, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
So now we are known that we're the sons of God. Go ahead.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together.
That's it.
And appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land.
That's it.
For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
That's it. And that's what's coming. All right. So the Lord is getting us out of here. Yahweh Bashem Yahshai has set up the righteous men of the Lord, starting with the apostles on down. And then you got the righteous order. We have a brotherhood and their extended families. We're have our heads down and we're doing what we're supposed to do to get the fuck up out of here. All right. Did you have that second entrance?
Yep.
But the elder Shalom Malcolm. The elder Malcolm was on the
Second entrance 3 and 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
So what we do? We out here in the highways and byways. We up there trying to do it, be obedient. We're humbling ourselves. All right. Get Tobit 13, 3-5. All right. The Most High is showing that there's only one group of people who can be the people. All right. Go ahead.
This is Tobit 13 and 3. It says, confess him before the Gentiles,
That's it.
ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them.
That's it.
There,
So wait a minute. See, that's why they can't understand that we're scattered among them. Learn their ways, like Obadiah, the first chapter, in the 10th through 12th verse, said when we got taken, we became strangers. That means we became what? Started speaking English, we speaking Spanish, we speaking French, Creole, and all this other shit. We leave learning the bad habits, and all our morals and our things that we think we know is learned from a so-called Edomitish white man perspective, man. So now we have to come back into understanding. Go ahead.
declare his greatness.
So when our job is to wake them and deliver them, wake them up into righteous judgment of their heritage and their culture. This is what the Lord's telling us to do, and then keep himself unspotted from the world. Go ahead.
And so, like we were scattered to the four corners of the earth, so is this gospel.
That's it.
And then the end shall come.
That's another sign.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it says, there declare his greatness and extol him before all the living, for he is our Lord, and he is the power of our Father forever.
There you go.
And he will scourge us for our iniquities, and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations among whom he has scattered us.
And this is that great gathering. Excellent precept to end on. All right. The Lord is, this is it. We're done with this place. The Lord is done with this place. And the Most High is coming to save us. So hopefully this has been edifying through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Shem Shabbat, Shem HaRakakadash. All praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles out of New York, Great Millstone, at GMS. Honors to Akim around the planet, lifting up the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, in truth and sincerity. Brothers on the comment board. I see Brother Kazak he's been slanging them, Brother Virgin Islands been slanging Brother Salaki for not grabbing them, but I'm gonna grab you this one on the way out. Route 36 and 37. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come. Oh, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the heavenly power. All right, and that's an excellent one to end on. And go ahead, brother. I see you hot. Go ahead, brother. Yahweh
The same spirit I had, Elder.
Oh, that was the same one you had.
Oh,
See, that's the
yeah.
spirit. That's it. That's it. All right. So, like I said, hopefully this has been edifying to the spirit of prayer. Yahweh Shem Shai, Shalom, and the Bible Ball.
Ball.